Welcome here, everyone. I know we are just past the top of the hour, so I'm excited to kick us off here with today's webinar. If you've attended our webinars a few years back, you might recognize this format of Ask Us Anything. We are thrilled to bring it back. It was a big hit in the past, and it also provides us with an excellent opportunity to hear from you, our users, and gain a better understanding for the questions that you might have around today being AI Assist. We actually hosted a very similar format to this webinar at our Peak of Data and AI back in the spring, and we received a lot of amazing questions there. So we thought, why not bring it to a different stage through our webinar platform and gain even more insights from all of you and be able to support you with this topic as well. And so, yeah, really excited to be hosting this format today, excited to hear from all of you. And with that, welcome everyone to Ask Me Anything about AI Assist, practical answers for real workflows. Today, I'm joined by a panel of our 4 different presenters and speakers who will be answering your questions today. I'll pass the stage over to Jenna to kick off our introductions.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name's Jenna, and I'm a product manager on the FME form side.
And Rylan.
Good morning. My name is Rylan Maschak. I'm working at SAFE here as a group product manager, as you can see by the title. My day-to-day is with FME Flow, and this year I've been with the company for 10 years now. So I've seen a lot of change, and not just in the technology we've used, but in the wonderful people I get to work with too.
Evie.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Evie LaPalme. I am a technical support team lead on the FME form side, and I also help a lot with AI Assist and everything else.
Hey, yeah, I'm Devet. I'm the team lead for the sort of AI service backend side of things, working on software development there. I haven't done a webinar in quite some time, so sorry if I'm a bit rusty on this, but looking forward to hearing all your questions.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, you might have noticed as well that our 4 panelists are across 3 different teams at Safe Software, which is a special treat to get the perspectives from different teams, from developers to product managers to support specialists. So really excited for that as well today. Welcome to Livestream. If you are newer to using our platform, just a few quick tips for you. We do have the help button on the bottom left. So if you have any audio or video issues, you can click that button for 4 simple steps. We have the react button. I already saw some people using that. So please do make use of that as we go. It really fuels us. We love to see how everyone's feeling and reacting to things during the webinar. The chat, you can keep letting us know where you're tuning in from and leave any comments there. And then last but definitely not least, especially for this webinar, is our questions tab. So please don't be shy. The majority of this webinar is going to be ask me anything, ask us anything. So leave any questions you have on AI Assist there. And I'll mention this a little later on for anyone that joins later as well, but you'll also notice a good set of questions that I will drop in. And these are actually questions that we received about AI Assist at our Peak of Data and AI conference, or questions that we've received from users since this release of this feature. And I think I added one as well myself. So if you would like to upvote those questions or any questions that we receive during the webinar, we'd encourage you to do that. That will help us prioritize which questions to get to first and keep things organized. So yeah, post your questions as we go there. Okay, and so before I hand things over to the team, I'll just go over a brief agenda so you know what to anticipate today. We're going to be kicking things off with a brief introduction and history of FME and AI from Evie. And then we're going to be going into an overview of AI Assist so that everyone's familiar with the feature. And then Jenna is going to be taking us through what's to come in AI Assist, what's upcoming and to be excited about. And then Our Ask Us Anything portion will be the majority of this webinar. And then we'll also leave you with some resources and next steps to get started after this webinar before wrapping up. Okay, so at this point, I will hand things over to Evie, and she's going to take us through that first segment here.
Thanks. Yeah, so a little bit of an introduction in history of FME and AI. So FME is there to have a smarter FME workflows powered by real-time AI support, as that's what we're aiming for with AI Assist. A little bit of the FME platform here. We offer flexible deployment options. FME Form is the authoring environment where you build your data workflows. And then FME Flow is there to automate these workflows, and it can be flexible, you deploy it yourself, and we also offer FME Flow hosted where we host it. And FME Realize is our AR mobile app that integrates with the whole platform. So to get into a little bit of a history of AI Assist and how it came to be, we have when AI first started booming with ChatGPT in the initial release. And then we started developing AI Assist to help with regex, Python, and SQL. And now we have AI Assist to consolidate features within FME that involve natural language. So AI Assist, what is it? Imagine if every FME user had a personal expert sitting beside them 24/7. You don't have to dig through documentation, guess at transformers, or waiting on our support emails, although we do try to help. Just ask any questions, receive an answer right away, and that's what AI Assist is here to help with. For new users, it's like having a coach, whether you're building your first workspace or just trying to understand what a transformer does. AI Assist provides an instant and FME specific guidance, and there's no setup or context needed outside of that. And for experienced user, it's a time saver and it's an efficiency boost, and you could ask about best practices, workspace optimization, or even Python scripting. And it's trained, well, it has all of the FME knowledge available to it. This turns FME questions into instant answers, so users can focus on building and not troubleshooting. And it's also tied to your FME account. You do have to log in to use this feature. So here's a quote for one of our customers that they'd recommend this to any first-time user, and they usually point them to training or the FME Academy, but this speeds up things dramatically. So here's a little bit of what AI Assist can do. So if you had a question, how do I split strings, then concatenate them, it suggests the appropriate transformer as well as documentation to go with it. You can also click on that little icon there on transformers to add them as context and ask it what would be the next transformer. And then it would suggest similar transformers. Ones that are commonly added after the HTTP caller is a JSON fragmenter, because often HTTP caller responses are JSON. You can also summarize workspaces. Let's say you had a very complex workspace. You could ask it, what does it do? And it will summarize it for you and even give it to you as something that you can add as an annotation on the workspace. And so with that, I'll pass it off to Devet for this infrastructure slide.
Yeah, sure. I won't go into like a whole lot of depth about how this is built, but do ask more questions if that is of interest to you. But yeah, just kind of wanted to give an overview of what actually happens when you ask a question and what kind of data is available. Yeah, so your question, as well as optionally some information about what's going on in your workspace, is sent to us. That part just is stored on our servers, and then from that question, we add some extra knowledge that could be useful to the AI That's mostly documentation and the knowledge base articles. And then from that, we send this to AI for completing the response. We're currently using an OpenAI model, so same model that's used in ChatGPT, but it is provided by Microsoft on their Azure platform. Now they don't store any of that. We kind of just send it and we get the response back, and then forward that to you. Along with that, there's a lot of sort of custom prompting that we do in order to encourage the right kind of response from the AI.
Cool. Thanks. Then I'll pass it off to Jenna.
Yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit about what's to come as well for like beyond the features that we see right now. So yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about what we're currently kind of working on as well, and what you can kind of expect to see in the next few releases potentially on what direction we're taking AI Assist. So in this first release, we really focused on that ability to help you learn FME faster. You'll notice like baked in features like quoted sources that links you directly to documentation. So we really focused on that learning aspect. What we're working on now is really getting that additional context from your workspace to give more tailored, specific answers directly to you that you can take action on your canvas. So like adding a transformer that is maybe pre-configured with some parameters that are convenient, so you don't have to put it down, learn how to use every parameter, configure it that way. So another action we're working on is like adding that pre-configured parameter. So a lot of our next focus is coming on giving you better tailored answers, not just we've got that learning down, we have all those sources in, so now let's try to help you author that faster. Beyond the features though, we are working on more security and control over AI features. We do recognize maybe getting that working at your organization isn't the easiest for everyone. So to make that more pliable for you guys, we are working on a more centralized way to control this feature. What that looks like is still a bit undetermined, so I don't want to share too much, but we are hoping to give more centralized control over how you apply AI Assist to your workflows. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So that leads us into the remainder of our webinar, really, this Ask Us Anything portion. So we're really excited to hear from you all, any questions that you might have on AI Assist. And then as a reminder, or if you joined us a little bit later, you will see there's a lot of questions that I've posted in the questions tab. Those are actually all either questions that we received about AI Assist shortly after the release at our Peak of Data and AI conference, or questions that we've received from users since the release of this feature. And I think I added one or two myself as well. So with that in mind, please do make use of that upvote feature. That helps us prioritize which questions are most relevant to you, our users, and also get any questions that you have in as we go here as well. We hope to spend the majority of this time answering your questions that come in live. So really excited to hear from all of you. Okay, so with that, I'll pass things over to the team if they want to pick out a question here for us to get started with.
Yeah, I guess just as the first question, I do want to answer, where is this available and how can I use this? I did see a few questions come in about like, how do I activate it? How do I use it? So I guess we should have started off. This feature that you see right now, the chat natural language feature of AI Assist, is available in 25.1. If you're using anything before 25.1, you won't have access to the chat feature. You may have access to the other previous AI feature like generating regex, Python, and SQL. You may have access to that. But this specific natural language chat feature that you're seeing right now is available in 25.1 and beyond. Seeing a lot of good questions come in. So
Yeah, lots of good questions.
Yeah. Also, you can also vote existing questions as well. If you see that someone's already asked a question you want answered, go ahead and upvote that. I'll maybe answer this one as well, like a step-by-step guide to get AI Assist running, just assuming that if you are a user who already has 25.1 downloaded and that's what you're trying to work with, When you first open Form or Workbench, you should see the AI Assist in the Get Started tab, as well as in your toolbar. So if you are on 25.1, you should see an icon that looks like 2 sparkling stars. And if you click that, you should see a chat tab docked in your Canvas view, and you can get started that way. And I guess you will also have to log in using your FME account, which is the account that you potentially use to log into your community right now. So it is tied that way. So that allows you to kind of take, let's say if you're working across multiple machines and you want to take your chat history from one machine to the other, it's just tied to your FME account. So yeah.
I'll take another one. This one seems to be popular. Does the data also include insights from support cases, version history, or bug fixes, change logs? And currently, no, but we are evaluating other sources that might improve responses. If anyone else wants to add to that one, too.
Yeah, there's sometimes also data sources that we think would be useful, and we'll add them and kind of evaluate, kind of run a suite of test questions through it, and it doesn't actually improve the responses in the way we thought. So it's interesting that way, just trying to figure out what is actually going to result in a better response from the AI. So it's it's sort of a case by case basis of seeing what data actually works.
I do want to answer one of this upvoted answers here. Is conversation history stored in SAFE's infrastructure? Will this be used to train autocomplete workbenches, etc. in the future? I'll answer the second portion of that, and maybe Devek can help me with the first portion. Will this train autocomplete workbenches in the future? Not to say that we aren't thinking about more features that can help you give more context to our suggestions. That being said, conversation history and at the org level, maybe Devek can talk to more about how we manage that currently.
Yeah, so I'll just echo there. Yeah, we're definitely not thinking of something where one user's workspace is going to be reflected in a response to an entirely different user. We're definitely very, very aware that that's not a good scenario, and we don't set it up that it would be able to do that. Your conversation history is stored on our infrastructure. And this is so that you could retrieve previous conversations and continue them. We do have options to manage that. You can delete old conversations. You can actually bulk delete all your conversations at once as well. But yeah, so it's not definitely not used for training. We will look at what kinds of topics users are discussing with the AI, and if there's a common theme about something that's not working so well, or that we can provide a better type of response to, we will use that to inform our development. But it's definitely not like a copy paste user question response into the AI.
I wanted to jump in and mention that when you receive a response in AI Assist, please use that upvote downvote button to let us know if the response makes sense and is kind of on the right track, because that feedback's really going to be helpful for our team to fine tune. Can pull out this top question here. Is AI Assist aware of your data? Can it help you manipulate JSON, as an example? So I believe you have to think of it as it's going to have whatever data you provide it. So it's not going to be looking inside of your data sets or in all of your attribute values. But if you're working in the assist for regex or that space, then yeah, it's going to be looking at that little code snippet you have. If you submit any information into the chat window, yes, of course, then you're kind of acknowledging that you're sending your data. But the service itself isn't routing through your source data files or anything like that. That's not being transmitted.
I think the best way to visualize right now, currently, what part of your canvas is being shared, if you open any workspace right now and you right-click on a transformer and let's say you put up the summary window of your transformer, that's pretty much what context we have right now. So if you select, oh, I want to ask about this transformer and you see the summary tab, like how you have your parameters set up, that's the kind of information we're taking to contextualize your answers.
That being said, it would be a great, powerful feature to be able to work on actual source data sets, but it is also a matter of that's a lot of data to be sending back and forth, and it's a privacy and security concern. So we want to engineer very carefully around those concerns if we do in the future decide to implement a feature like that.
Yeah, to go into security questions, this one seems popular as well. How do you get approval from your organization to use AI Assist? We do have a security white paper that explains all of our policies and how we're handling this. So we'll share this out at the end as well for more information. We also have a FAQ article as well that has more information on usability and how to use it.
Yeah, and I can share out that link now as well, and then can always share it again, just in case anyone wants that handy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I guess maybe around that same topic is this the question about turning off specific parts. Yeah, so can I turn off parts of AI Assist for security or compliance reasons? I'm not directly involved in the sort of front end of this, but you can completely disable AI Assist at the FME form level, and you can also disable just sending workspace context so that it just becomes an FME specific knowledge chat is what we kind of call that. We have been thinking about being able to set that more at an organization level. I don't know, Jenna, do you have more to add about that at this point, or is it just kind of we're thinking about it?
Yeah, like we're definitely aware of the concerns around having more control. So like we want to introduce a way to we can control this more centrally, because the features that Devette just walked through, like disabling at the workbench level or disabling just context sharing, that'll be just machine specific on your install. But a way for maybe for you to control this at your organization, like, oh, across how many machines I want to just completely disable AI Assist, that does not work with our policies, which is completely understandable. That is something we are aware of and trying to bake in some more central control to, yeah.
Yeah, and we'd appreciate any input on how you typically achieve this technically. What's going to mesh best with your the way you deploy software, because we have some ideas about how we do it, but that'd be good to hear from you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like we've gotten a ton of questions over the past 10 minutes. This is great. Thanks, everyone. Keep them coming.
I like this question here. Can the AI take a script, example, Python or JavaScript, and then convert it into a comparable workspace? So, well, this feature in itself, as it's been written out, that doesn't exist, but you can take your script if you want and put it into the AI Assist chat window and see if it has any suggestions for yourself for how to build an FME workspace based on that little code snippet you have there.
That's a really interesting idea. I think I'm going to go experiment with that in terms of actually getting it to generate a workspace as well.
Yeah.
This will be maybe a further in the future kind of thing to build, but that's if that's something that people want, I think it might be achievable. We'll take a look at that.
Yeah, this one seems pretty similar as well. Could it create a draft workspace given a textual description of what needs to be done? Yeah, so not right now, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll just add to that, like even if we're not generating your, let's say, entire workspace, if you wanted to achieve like a small snippet, let's say you had a bunch of JSON, you don't know how to use it. You're like, oh, I want to generate XYZ features using FME, and maybe this is my JSON schema. We could suggest transformers that could help you along the way. And in the near future, we might even configure those parameters for you. So you have them all in. And if the schema is all right, we might be able to do that.
This is a good time to remind everyone, just while our team's picking out the next question, please, if you have any questions, to drop them into the questions tab. As you've been seeing, we were able to pull them up on the screen then for everyone to see front and center, and then we're able to note that we have responded to them live. So if you have any questions in the chat, feel free to drop those in the questions tab, and then our team will be able to see and reply to those.
I see down one of the questions here asking if it's possible to upgrade to the FME version 25.2 yet. That is typically our fall release, so that is not out yet, but we are wrapping up development on that release version. So you should expect to see it in the coming weeks to months before the end of the year. But currently 25.1 is the official release version right now.
Yeah, there's also lots of questions about documentation, how to use AI Assist in FME, and I would go to the FAQ, and that shows you how to enable it, what to do, how to sign into your FME account, all of what is required to get you up and running, and then you just start chatting, basically. So, yeah.
I'm also going to mark this question complete since we've answered this one. Some good insights and comment suggestions in the chat too, so excited to read through those after the webinar as well.
And we'll also get to any answers. If we didn't answer any of your questions, we can get back to it afterwards.
Picked out this one here. Can AI Assist act on my behalf? So that's kind of talking about like agentic AI, which is quite popular right now. So currently, if FME doesn't have the agentic AI capabilities for the AI Assist feature, it can help you add transformers to your workspace, of course, but it's not set up to have you instruct it to carry out a workflow and then you can walk away from your desk and come back to check on the results. So that sort of feature hasn't been implemented yet, but if that is of interest to you and or your organization or what have you, we'd definitely be interested to hear what sort of use cases you have where this would be beneficial.
There's also lots of questions about can you change what you use under AI Assist, like what service it uses? And currently, no. We removed that feature altogether and it's locked to what we have. But yeah, does anyone else want to speak to this decision or anything?
Yeah, there's definitely some infrastructure challenges with doing this because we run our assistant on our servers, and so we would need to be then connecting to your organizational ChatGPT license or what have you. So we're looking into ways to maybe change that so that this is possible. No guarantees or promises there, but we're looking into it. Maybe this ties into some of the MCP server stuff as well. I don't know if we want to mention some of that, Jenna or Ryland.
I could, yeah. I mean, on the FME Flow side, we're looking into how we might be able to serve workspaces as sort of like an MCP tool, something that an AI service would be able to call out to in that regard.
I want to take a question here that's a bit of an embarrassment to me personally, but I want to address it. This is the issue of the hallucinated transformers, suggesting transformers that don't exist. Yes, we're we're aware of this problem. We, this is just part of the nature of working with large language models, with working with these tools. They can hallucinate, things that just aren't true, they don't exist. That being said, this is kind of a specific failure, and we know why this is happening. And while I won't say that it's going to be possible to reduce this to it never occurring, we are actively working on ways to make it much less common for this to happen. Yeah, that's I guess that's kind of all I can say about that at this point. But yeah, we're aware of this problem and very actively working on it.
Yeah, and then if anytime it does suggest the transformer, make sure to also look at the documentation it suggests as well to see, because that's what it's pulling from.
The sort of general advice with AI tooling is that it is sometimes wrong, but it is also very often useful. So it's a bit of a balance there about learning the nuance of how these tools behave, and knowing when to apply them when they are useful.
A lot of thumbs up. I think everyone in the audience, and myself included, can agree with that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Rylan. I think you're on mute.
Thank you very much. Is it possible to analyze translation logs? Sometimes the error messages in the logs are not enough to fix the issue. Yes, definitely a common problem. And I started at Safe Software Support, and this was definitely one of the common threads here. I feel that if you are looking at the translation log, it has been improved in recent versions that you can see sometimes which transformer an error message is related to. So you might be able to copy the error message, paste it into AI Assist. You could highlight the transformer for context aware and say, I've got this problem, help, what can I do? And the AI Assist feature would be able to give you some enriched answers and suggestions based on some of the context that we fed into it. So it might help you in that case, but if not, our support team is just an email away, of course.
Awesome. Looks like we're whittling down on the questions list. That's good. Okay. That said, don't hesitate. If you have more questions, please do get them in as we go. Another question might spark one for you too.
I'll just say that we already kind of answered this one. So yeah, mark that as done.
Here's an interesting one that's of probably particular concern to our European users. Someone's been digging into the security white paper. That's great to see. Currently using American subprocessors. If this is a major concern for many of our users, which I suspect it may be, I'll just say that it's technically feasible for us to change some of this around so that we could have European subprocessors, but it would be like a fair bit of engineering effort. So I guess let us know if this is a critical thing for you, and we can prioritize how that works. Also potentially some other solutions to this, but the simple answer is, as of now, no. The application is hosted where it's hosted, and there's no option to change that.
Yeah, I guess just adding to that, if that particularly is your concern, please voice that to us. We are looking for more ways to make AI features more accessible to everyone. So if this is one of the limiting factors, or if there's something else and you really want us to look into that, please just let us know. We're really here to just listen and figure out what's best for everyone.
I think we're definitely going to walk away from this webinar with a pile of insights, so super useful.
I'll answer two sort of similar ones. This question says, AI assist can suggestions for additional transformers, can it diagnose a complete workspace and suggest enhancements? And there was also one in the tab asking if we could suggest improvements to an existing functional workspace. So if we take this as kind of like an optimization question, I mean, optimization can go on forever, right? So I guess it really depends on what you're looking for in terms of like, oh, like, does my workspace adhere to best practices? And I do think this is a great idea. We don't do this automatically right now, not to say that there's documentation and support articles out there that suggest what good best practices are when it comes to authoring. So I think currently if you ask like, oh, what are some more ways I could optimize my workspace? It may suggest you ways to do that based on existing articles or what we currently train the model on. But maybe in the future, we can get more understanding of your existing workspace and then give you more tailored responses.
I'll just add to that we do currently have the ability to talk about what's going on in the whole workspace. There is some limitation in terms of workspace size there, which we're working on techniques to kind of mitigate. But yeah, so you would be able to ask questions about, what's given the transformers in my workspace, what are some that might have optimizations I can apply, things like that.
There's a question here it's kind of centered around upgrading FME. So do your configurations kind of move forward? A lot of people on the webinar here are probably thinking about upgrading to the latest version so they can use AI Assist. For FME Form, you are able to run multiple versions. You can install multiple versions to the same machine. So when you do this, you should be able to have the same kind of configurations and parameters that you've set. I would argue it's a bug if you've kind of set anything up in FME Form 25.0 and then you install 25.1 and you've noticed some of your settings are done. So if you notice that, please do get in touch. And then from the FME Flow side, that application does require a complete uninstall. So you will be able to back up your entire Flow deployment configuration and then uninstall the application, install the new version, and then restore. That's if you're doing an upgrade in place. It's common for some of our customers with larger or more active deployments to spin up a new machine and kind of just switch over a DNS or something like that.
I'll answer this one as well. Can AI be used to assist in debugging issues that are outside of FME? Like if it was an external database or something that's not an FME issue? And right now, no. Although you could ask questions relating to FME and it might try to guide you in that way. But it is pulling on our documentation and specific to FME. So it could try to suggest, and it might point you in directions that you could figure out that answer yourself, but it's not going to diagnose it, I guess, for you. Yeah, lots of great questions, though.
Yeah, it looks like we've gotten to most of the top uploaded ones so far anyway.
Yeah, I noticed there's this one here asking about privacy and security concerns with regards to connecting SQL Creator to database. I would direct you to our AI white paper to read more details about that. But as we kind of mentioned earlier, it's only going to be processing data you're passing in. So it's not going to be looking into your database. But if you're writing a SQL query and you've got table names and you're asking for a refinement or additional operations from our AI Assist feature, then that of course will be sent across. But if you have any other specific concerns, just let us know. But take a look at that white paper as well.
Also, answer this one on the same line about data safety. Can sensitive data leak? If you're talking about your actual data that you're processing in FME, we're not even using that. You're not sending that at all. So that's not going to leak at all. There's no chance. But other things, it's just the conversation that we're storing for just to review and help that. So yeah. Definitely read the white paper if you have any other concerns for this. and let us know.
Yeah, I'll just add, if you're say sharing transformer context with the AI, and if you've entered something like, I don't know, if you enter your credit card number into an attribute manager directly, you know, that will get shared. We can't necessarily judge whether information that you put into a transformer parameter is sensitive or not. So do be aware of that. I think the security white paper does go into that sort of thing. But yeah, there's a clear division here for us between transformer configurations and the actual data that's being processed. One of those is shared, the other is not.
Yeah, so if it's a web connection or something that is private, and that won't be shared, but if it's hard coded, we don't know. If it is, we can't tell. Yeah.
Okay. I recognize we're just about 5 minutes away from our webinar wrap up. Wow, that went by fast, at least for me. I don't know about the rest of you. And so I just wanted to suggest to the team, we probably have time for just a few more questions. Perhaps we can sort by upvote. So just a final encouragement to everyone, please do upvote the remaining unanswered questions. That'll help us prioritize our last few here before we wrap up. And while the team's picking out that first of the last few, just a reminder, if we don't get to your question before the end, we will follow up after the webinar, so not to worry.
I picked out this one that was upvoted. It was one of the questions we had from the peak, or from one of our post-peak webinars in the last few months. Can I fine-tune or extend AI Assist using my organization's internal data or domain-specific languages? So currently, no, this feature is not supported. You're not able to feed in or send a bunch of links or what have you to the AI Assist. If you copy and paste just the texture, but there's no ability to have like a direct connection to any of your organization's data like that. And if you do send data, of course, it's only going to be within the context of each conversation.
Maybe just a quick one to answer here. How's AI related to FME versions? The AI will draw on the correct documentation for the version of FME you're using. And as we improve the service, you will get better responses even in older, so if you have 25.1, 25.2 has been released, even some of that response quality will make it into 25.1. That being said, if there's actual like user interface features that are improved around AI in a newer version of FME, you're not going to get that in an older version.
Okay, and time for one final question, if anyone on the team has one they wanted to address. I do see this question from Karam, what is coming in the near future? I'm not sure, potentially this user might have joined after our what's coming section of the webinar. So just to note, I believe we did cover this at the beginning, unless the team has anything to add, but I think we had a portion on this. So definitely would encourage you to check out the recording after and review that. Some exciting new things to look forward to. Okay, just final call to the team if there's any other question we want to draw. And I do see, I think we had this one uploaded that we addressed but just hadn't pulled up on the screen. Is that right, team?
Yeah, there it is here. Can organizations control which users have access to AI features in FME form? So currently, the answer is no. You can control the access to all AI features just kind of per FME Workbench installation, so like on one single machine. And it's currently an all or none as well. So if it is of interest for you to control specific features within AI Assist across the FME platform, let us know. And in addition to that, if you're looking for that more like enterprise scaling kind of control where you can kind of apply no across all the work machines in your organization. Two separate ideas, but let us know if either of those are of interest to you.
Awesome. Okay, and we are just a minute before the top of the hour, so I will go ahead and wrap us up here. But just a reminder, please do, if you do have more questions, feel free to drop them in. We will either in the next few minutes get to them in that questions tab. I see Devette's already working on a couple there. And if we don't, we'll be sure to follow up by email as well. But with that said, just to take us through some resources, I know Evie's already chatted about the white paper. I will post that link again in case anyone missed that. And then also our AI Assist FAQ, I want to highlight that as well. So some more questions that you might be interested to take a look at. I've got both the links on the bottom left there. And then just to highlight some of our other free resources here at SAFE, we have our support, lots of how-to demos and lots of knowledge articles that exist there. And then our webinars, we have lots upcoming, safe.com/webinars. Feel free to get in touch with us as well, info@safe.com. We'd love to chat anything data. And if you're newer to FME, our accelerator course is 90 minutes and free of charge, a great place to learn the basics. And our community badge code, if you are a member of our community and you'd like to redeem these, feel free. I will drop that in the chat as well. And if you aren't a member of the community, we encourage you to check it out. It's a great place. You can network with other users alike, as well as FME experts. And it's also a great avenue to keep experimenting and sharing your AI Assist stories with in the FME community. We'd love to see what you're trying out. Fantastic. So just a final huge thank you to everyone for joining us here today. Really appreciate you taking the time, and we really value all the insights and questions that you shared here today. Leaves us with a lot of feedback and things to take back to the team. So thanks everyone, and huge thank you to our presenters as well. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.
Thanks.